Welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry. That's Nick. Bryant down below. And we are ready to break down some baseball and then get in a CFL game here. Jay Stone is saying, fucking pissed. DraftKings doesn't have pit games up or Toronto. What gives? Well, I think it's because the second game is a double header. A lot
And
of
they
books
don't
don't
have a
have.
list of pitchers yet for that one.
Yeah, that would probably be why. And then the Toronto game, I guess it's available at some places now, but it wasn't available most of the day when I looked either. So
I would also add that my book has the Toronto Mariners game, but they don't have like the ability to go in there and look at alternate lines, all that stuff. It's just simply money line, the total, and the spread or the run line. So I think they're trying to update it and trying to get clarification on who is starting for Toronto, because Gonzalez has been listed since last night. I think that they're just making sure that that's who it is so they can readjust all the other stuff accordingly.
yeah, but we will jump right into the first game that I chose here. 4 games and then last pitch. Last pitch might be a little bit longer because there's obviously some good games that I didn't pick here, but we'll start with the first one. Miami is headed to New York to face the Mets. It's Castano on the mound for the Marlins. Trevor Williams on the mound for the New York Mets. In this one, I'm taking the Marlins. I'm on Miami first 5 plus a half, and I'm on Miami full game money line plus 150. And the Miami first 5 plus a half, I got at minus 105, which I think is a great price for the plus a half in the first 5. But we have the Mets against a lefty, Marlins against a righty split. And we also have Trevor Williams, who I guess you could say is the Mets' weakest pitcher. And I would assume that when DeGrom eventually gets in the lineup, that Trevor Williams will probably be the guy that's out. But Nick can correct me, obviously,
Yes,
if it's wrong. But
he's a bullpen guy. Usually, he's his starter, but he gets moved back and forth between him and the bullpen. He's the number 5 guy.
Yeah, long relief.
Yep.
I totally forgot to bring up the odds here. But right now, currently, so I'm on Miami plus 150. You can find them anywhere from plus 140 to plus 150. If you're looking at the Mets, you can find them at minus 167 all the way to minus 188. So there's a big price difference there. And then the total, you can find some 8s, some 8.5s, depending on the lines that you look for, where you have books. But Williams in his last game against Texas, 3.2 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. In the game before that, against Houston, 2.1 innings. He only gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But the game before that against Houston, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. On the other side, Castano has pitched pretty well for Miami. In his last game against Washington, 5 innings, he got the win, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks. Before that, against this Mets team in Miami, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks. And then a no decision against Colorado before that. But I like the Marlins in this spot. I think it's a good spot for them here. If they're going to win a game against the Mets in this series, this is probably going to be the one. But I really like the first 5 plus a half at minus 105. Nick, what do you think here in Miami against your Mets?
Yeah, the first thing I saw with this game is the first thing I thought about with this game is why the hell is Williams a minus 175 favorite? I would get it if it was like Scherzer, DeGrom being big favorite. I don't think that that Williams should be a big favorite like that. I am on the Marlins here in the first 5 innings at plus 120. I still don't trust them full game, but I'm gonna go with them first 5 here. And the market's kind of moving that way too. A decent chunk of the money and the cash is on the Mets, but this kind of line is kind of like stayed the same or moved a couple cents. I'm also leaning towards an under in this game. I think that we could see a lower scoring game potentially for this one. It is a 9. Actually, it went down to an 8. So I lean under. Did not bet the under though, and I'm on the Marlins first 5.
Awesome. Bryant, what do you think here? Marlins the Mets.
I was kind of conflicted earlier on. I don't know why, but I consulted with the Earl brothers, and both of them were pretty bullish on Trevor Williams with good reason. I ultimately decided to go with the Marlins. I was able to get them +1 for the F5 at -145. I also think that there's value in just outright getting them at the +0.5 for the F5. I mean, there's good value. It's -115 on my book. I'm going to take the cushion just in case. This is my only play in this game. I'm not looking at anything else. I don't trust the Marlins bullpen enough to secure a win as well, especially against a team like the Mets. I think like this is a perfect spot for the Marlins to maybe come out, get 2 runs early, kind of shell shock Trevor Williams a little bit. He might settle in, but I think that'll be enough for Castano to get through a couple innings and cash this thing maybe tied or with the Marlins up. But any situation, that's the only play I have. I think that he's pretty solid. I don't know if he's in the same vein as some of their other these other random starters that the Marlins keep pulling out their asses that end up being really solid. But against the Mets, he had that one start. It was a no decision, but he went 7 innings. It gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer. He walked 2 people and 4 strikeouts. Honestly, like if we assume that the Marlins can get a couple runs off of Trevor Williams, that same stat line is perfect for me. As long as it happens in the first 5. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, and that's my only play. So,
all right. Yeah, I was looking at player props for this game. I don't think I'm ultimately going to get to it because I'm already on the Marlins first 5 in full game. I'm probably not going to hit player props in this one. But I was looking at Williams, Wendell, and Cooper for Miami to get hits. But I don't think I'm ultimately going to play anything extra in this game. But we'll move on to the next one here. The Cardinals are headed to Atlanta for the second game in the series, I believe, or third.
4th.
Oh, 4th. Okay, yeah. It seems like they've been playing forever. Liberatore against Strider. Rookie against rookie here. Liberatore. 2 kind of bad games here against Philly in his last game. 2.2 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs. The game before that was a really good game against Pittsburgh. 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. But the game before that, he got roughed up against the Cubs. The game he did well there was at home. These 2 other games were on the road. He is back on the road, and he's not facing the Cubs. He's not facing Philadelphia. He's facing this hot Atlanta team and this hot Atlanta offense. On the other side, Spencer Strider has pretty much been good all year long. His one rough game was against San Francisco, where he gave up 6 hits and 6 earned runs, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts in that game. But basically, other than that, he's pitched really well for Atlanta. I really like Atlanta in this spot. I am on them on the full game run line, -1.5 at -105. I'm also on Atlanta in a 2-team parlay. And I did a same game parlay on DraftKings, which is where I usually do my same game parlays. I took Atlanta to win, parlayed with Swanson and Riley, both to get hits. Both have been smashing the ball, especially Riley as of late. And that parlay for Atlanta, Swanson and Riley to get hits is +125. So that's basically what I'm doing there. And then also kind of looking at it here, I'm going to look quickly and see what these strikeout props are for Strider. He Obviously, in that game against San Francisco, he didn't get that many in that rough game, but otherwise he's gotten quite a few strikeouts. 7.5, 7 here at this book, but 7.5 everywhere else for plus money. His last 2 games: 11 against Cincinnati, 7 against the Dodgers. If I go back a little further, let's see here. 11 against Washington, 8 against Pittsburgh, 5 the game before that, 7 the game before that. So he's getting strikeouts. I wish this number was 6.5 or a better price with a 7, but I would lean with the over 7.5 there and the strikeouts as well. But I see this as another good game for the Braves. Nick, what do you think here? Cardinals and Braves.
Yeah, we have the Cardinals. They're kind of on a little bit of a tailspin here. They haven't been playing that well recently. They've lost 4 straight games and 6 of their last 7. And I think that continues into tonight with the Atlanta Braves playing some of the better baseball in the MLB right now. They've won 3 in a row, 5 of their last 6, 7 of their last 9. And they have done it against a struggling St. Louis team, the Reds, Phillies, which are not great either. So I want to see what happens when they play a top-tier team, but I do think that they'll be able to take care of the Cardinals here in this spot. I got the run line as well. I think that Spencer Strider is someone we should consider for top 3 for the NL Rookie of the Year at the moment, and they should take care of business in this one.
Tim already trying to jinx the Braves. The game hasn't even started yet, and he's already trying to jinx the Braves. But hey, Tim, it is what it is. Bryant, what do you think here? Cardinals and Braves.
One, I'm already groaning at the Phillies F5 run line. Looks bad already. Kids walk the bases loaded in the top of the first inning. Anyway, I've got the Braves here. Nick nailed it. The Cardinals are in a little bit of a tailspin right now. I don't know what's going on. I think you can attribute a lot of it to the fact that their starting pitching just isn't up to par. Miles Mikolas was good up until the 5th inning, and he gave up back-to-back home runs. Screwed him out that game. They couldn't muster any offense against Max Fried, which, I mean, isn't, that's not like a bad knock to not be able to say that you couldn't crack Max Fried. He's one of the better pitchers in the MLB. But when they have good pitching performances, they're not able to find ways to win those games. Palante got ripped up the game before. So they're just in a weird spot right now. And I think it all has to do with kind of their starting pitching is kind of screwing them against a good Braves lineup. I like Strider here. He's pitched pretty well for the most part. I think we're getting good value on the run line because I think that the Braves hop all over Liberator. He's a lefty at that, and the Braves have been ripping up lefties of late. At the run line, I've got him at -120. I'm going to ride that out. And I also have the Braves team total over 5. I know it's a little bit ambitious, but at -125, I'm willing to take it. I think worst comes to worst. If Strider just somehow doesn't have it, I think this turns into a slugfest where each team goes back, 6-7 runs apiece, something of that nature, maybe like a 9-7 score. He has had a little moment like that earlier this year. So ultimately, though, I think the Braves win the game. You can put them in a parlay, and I think that's fine. But my value is on the run line because I think that they get to Liberator early. And I think Strider settles in and does what he's supposed to do. So those are my picks for the day.
Are you about to say what I'm about to say, Nick?
Yeah, I was about to break some news here that the Ottawa Senators have just acquired Alex DeBrincat from Chicago in exchange for a 2024 third-round pick, the 39th overall pick, and the 7th overall pick.
Wow.
So Chicago's getting some draft picks. Interesting.
And the Senators think they are in a win now mode? ? DeBrincat's
young.
Yeah,
Brinkat's like 24, 25, I think. He's still
Yeah.
got lots of time left in the tank.
I don't that feels like a we're in a win now type of trade.
yeah. But I mean, I also see Terry's point with that, with him being that young. I feel like they just think they can build
They
around
have a
him.
lot of prospects. They need to bring
Yeah.
something to the fan base in order to get them to want to come and watch games, I think.
Yeah, to keep
That's
them
what they need.
interested. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. That's what I mean. NBA teams do it all the time, though.
Well, yeah, Cubano, now that they traded away to Brinkat, yeah, Chicago is going to be even more ass than they were before. They're definitely going to be a fade team.
Chicago for the cup. Here we go.
And Nationals still have bases loaded with one out. So
2 out now.
Oh, okay. That was previously. I didn't see that comment for some reason, but yeah, breaking news on the show. I didn't see that it was official. I just saw that Elliot Friedman said hearing Alex DeBrincat and Ottawa. So that's interesting that Nick got the full news. Ottawa's still going to be the huge favorite killers.
Yes,
Yeah, especially with
they're a team that definitely is going to be one of those type of teams.
adding to Brinkat, maybe they may not be as big dogs as they were last year. There's lots of obviously draft, free agency, and speaking of hockey, before we get on here to the next game, I did decide to do something kind of special here in the off season. Before the next season starts, we're going to be going over one team every day and kind of going over what they did in the off season. Look at their futures. I'm going to bring fans of that team on. So I'm going to try to get four people per team. Obviously, some teams like Florida Panthers, it's going to be hard for me to find some fans, but I'll do my best. And yeah, we'll get people on here. We'll talk what the team did and kind of discuss their future in the future season. So it'll be a good way to get some content and hockey content when we're all desperately waiting for hockey to return. So yeah, tune into that in the channel. I'll probably start it. There's 32 teams, obviously, so maybe like 35 days before the season starts or 40 days before the season starts, something like that. But stay tuned.
1-0 Nationals, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm watching. Yeah.
1-0.
1-0 Nationals. It's a good start to the over. One.
One. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at Philly's team total in that game, but it was so high that I decided to stay off. And I wasn't going to take the run line because of what they did to me yesterday. But
yeah, I'm on the over 10 for that game, so I just want runs.
Cubano says to Brinkat to Kachuk combo 11 it already. That's going to be good. Actually, thinking about it, that's going to be pretty good combo. Tim is enjoying no hockey. Well, Tim,
we're also enjoying no NBA. So
exactly. But we will go on to the next game, perhaps one of my favorite games of the night, and it's the Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. In this one, Gomber against Keuchel here. What a pitching matchup we have in this. Cy Young versus Cy Young. Who's going to be able to keep the other team off the board? Nobody. In this one, I think we're going to have a shit ton of runs in this game, especially from one side. I am on Colorado, Arizona over 9, which I got earlier. Obviously, now they're all around 9.5s, anywhere from minus 102 to minus 111. I got the over 9 at minus 120. And then I have Colorado first 5, team total over 2.5. So they have to score 3 runs in the first 5. That was plus 100. So at plus 100 earlier on, I had to jump on that. I definitely think the Rockies can get 3 runs against Keuchel in the first 5. And then I took Colorado team total over 4.5 full game at minus 115. I see runs, and especially from the Rockies here. I'm looking at a parlay for them. Their lineup wasn't confirmed before the show started, so I'll just kind of give out. I'm looking at Bryant, Daza, and Iglesias all to get hits. For Colorado. I'm looking at those 3 guys to get hits, but waiting obviously for lineups to be confirmed. When I do these player prop parlays, I look at what they've done the last 7 days. If they're facing a lefty or righty, I look what they've done versus a lefty or a righty. And then for Colorado, especially, I look at what they've done on the road because the road home splits for Colorado are obviously huge with Coors Field. So that's kind of how I look at that. But yeah, I like runs in this game, probably from both teams. But give me 6 runs from Colorado, and I'll be really happy in this game. Nick, Rockies and Diamondbacks, Gomber against Keuchel. I know you're a huge Keuchel fan, so what do you think in this matchup?
Yeah, you probably were a huge Keuchel fan when he won the Cy Young in 2015. People probably forget about that because he's been that bad. Yeah, it's fade Talis Keuchel day. For me, it's only the Rockies' first 5 though, that's what I bet. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes under. I know it's Dallas Keuchel and it's Austin Gomber, but the market's been moving very weirdly. A lot of money coming in on the under or on the over, but this line has gone from a 10 to a 9.5. So I really don't have too much interest in an over in this game. So it's just the Rockies' first 5 for me.
All right. Jay Stone, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Yeah, Jay Stone is a huge Blackhawks fan. So obviously he is upset with DeBrincat going. Hey, if they're going to go complete tank mode, maybe move Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
Maybe
Patrick Kane to Buffalo. Do it.
Hey. And then Richie says over. Cubano says, am I doing an NFL show? Yes.
Of course.
We started the NFL show. Obviously, when the channel started, it was right around the end of NFL. Definitely going to be doing an NFL show. The Thursday game, we'll probably go over on the Thursday show. When we do hockey and stuff, we'll do the NFL game after. Or depending on what happens, we'll see what happens. But yeah, there'll definitely be a full show specifically for NFL on the channel. And Richie says, seems like Terry would have done a CFL show. I bet the CFL, but I'm not a CFL expert yet. So, I don't know all the players, and there's not enough content. There's not really enough content for me to do a show specifically for CFL, but we will be going over the game later here. Bryant, did you discuss this game?
No, I did not.
No. Okay.
But like I said beforehand, I'm going with the Rockies team total over 2.5 for the first 5. And I am going on the F5 total completely, or the F5 total between the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. I think I got it at 4.5. I was a little bit scared of the 5. Just because I feel like there might be a couple innings where both these guys find a way to put up zeros. Really, I just need kind of what happened last week when Keuchel was on the mound. He gave up a 3-run home run. Gomber gave up a 2-run home run himself. Boom. And we were looking at, team total overs already well on their way before the 5th inning even ended. So I expect these guys to both get lit up. If I had to sit there and bet on a side, just to give that out, I would probably just lean to the Rockies. I trust their lineup a little bit more, and I would only do it on the F5. I wouldn't do it a full game. These teams are bad, and the Rockies bullpen is very suspect, as is the Diamondbacks. But ultimately, you got to go to totals here with these two teams, and especially with Keuchel on the mound. So those are my plays.
I think in this game, we could see what we saw in Baltimore, Texas the other night, where it's like back and forth, and then somebody wins 9-8. I think we could definitely see a one-run game.
Or we could see what we saw with Barrios and Capillari yesterday, and we see 0-0 through 6.
No, yep. Nick, we are going to see runs because we all like the over and we all need some winning bets. So we are going to see some runs, I really hope, in this game tonight. But we will jump into the next one here. The Cubs are headed to Los Angeles to face the Dodgers. Leiter? We'll go with Leiter Jr. Against Gonsolin here. I'll bring up the odds. If you want the Cubs on the money line, You can find them anywhere from plus 215 to plus 230. So 15-cent difference. If you want the Dodgers money line, you can get them anywhere from minus 265 to minus 286. So that's like a 20-cent difference. So definitely do your line shopping. Total, mostly 8, some 8.5s available, obviously, depending on what you like. In this one, Dodgers money line. So a lesson after yesterday. I much prefer myself. Everyone bets differently, and that's how it is at the end of the day. But I would much rather parlay a money line with another money line. Like I said earlier, my parlay, I had Atlanta money line parlayed with another team. That is this Dodgers team. So Atlanta and the Dodgers money line parlay together was only minus 101. So not quite plus money, but I still really like that. I have a unit and a half on that, so I like it. I like the Dodgers to win this game, but I'm not really excited to jump on the minus 1.5. You can find it at minus 125 to minus 130, depending on where you look, or minus 135. So you'd have to look around. But I prefer just to take the Dodgers money line here. One player I'm looking at, Justin Turner, has been insane in the last 7 days. So in the last 7 days, 7 games, he has 13 hits in 24 at bats. So he's hitting almost 500, and he has 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. So the Dodgers lineup has not been confirmed yet, but I will have Justin Turner props, probably an RBI and a hit, and I'll obviously look at the odds. But I'll have Justin Turner, also a player with the last name Thompson. I can't remember his first name, but him, and then obviously Trey Turner as well. So the Turners and Thompson.
Trace Thompson.
Those 3 players are the ones I'm targeting for hits for the Dodgers game against the Cubs here. But I like Dodgers money line as well. And then I do have Dodgers money line parlayed with the CFL game, and we'll get to that here shortly. But that's my other parlay. But yeah, Dodgers money line. I know it's like minus 270, minus 265. That's why I'm parlaying it with other things, because I really like that. I think it happens, but I don't want to have to take the run line, especially at like minus 135. Nick, what do you think here? Cubs and Dodgers.
Yeah, I think we see similar to what we saw yesterday with the Dodgers, where they won 2-1 in that game. I am on the first 5 under 4.5 in this game. I think we're going to see a good performance from Leader, and it's going to be more of a bullpen game, I think, for the Cubbies, which the Cubs actually have an underrated bullpen in my opinion. And then I also did take a shot with the underdog here. I usually don't take I don't take runs often, but when I do, they're alternative lines. So I got the Cubbies in the first 5 innings plus the 1.5 at minus 125, and I got the Cubbies full game plus 2.5 at minus 130. I think this could potentially be like that slaughter game at the end of the night where everybody's parlay tickets go to die. We've seen this plenty of times where it's teams like the Dodgers, or this could be the Padres tonight as well, where a lot of people love those teams at the end of the night, the favorites at the end of the night. And we can see them get upset. So I think this is a spot where the Cubbies could potentially win this game. But I just took the plus 1.5 and the plus 2.5. Plus 1.5 first 5, plus 2.5 full game at plus 125, and the full game was plus 130 or minus 130.
Hey, we can both win. It's very easy that we both can win. So best of luck. Yeah, apparently in the chat here, Brittany Griner got 10 years, apparently. So
Okay.
That's kind of insane. Obviously, I hope something happens with that. Tim says you guys can line shop at Betstamp. Use code WILD when signing up. And I'll
Wow, he's doing the advertising for you there, Terry.
Yeah, I was literally going to do that right after this game. But as Tim said, sign up at Betstamp. Use code WILD. Sign up for some books. Do your line shopping. find my picks while you're there. Picks after the show. I post on there my afternoon picks. I usually do my bets in the morning, so you can definitely find my bets on there. Code Wild, use BetStamp. I love being able to bring their odds up on the show as they are a sponsor. I'm an ambassador for them. So BetStamp, BetStamp, BetStamp. But yeah, Bryant, what do you think here in this one? Cubs and Dodgers.
I have the Cubs at 5-run line. And I also have or not the Cubs, I'm sorry, but the Dodgers at 5-run line. I'm a huge Gonsolin fan. He's been nails this year. I'm gonna ride it out again. It's just a little late evening play. At minus 165, I struggle to understand why we can't get like a decent line here, because I don't know. It's weird. Like I would much prefer this line to be somewhere like minus 155, minus 145, but I get it. You're paying a premium for the Dodgers. They're at home, yada yada yada. I don't see it as much of a gulf between the two teams in retrospect to how they've been playing. So for me, yeah, I'm just gonna take it. It's a little chalky, much more than I want it to be. But that's pretty much it. I've got the Dodgers, Yanks, and the Braves all in a money line parlay just to win the game. Simply, I do believe all three of them take care of business tonight. I am bullish on the Dodgers finding a way to win this game on the run line. So I'm going to pass there. And that's kind of why I didn't look at that. While they've been playing well, the Cubs have also just found their ways to like sneak backdoor into games to cover on the run line recently, or just outright win, as they kind of showed this week in Milwaukee, despite basically like down like 3 or 4 regular starters in their lineup. So I'm kind of scared there. But with Gonsolin on the mound, the Dodgers playing much better than they were end of May, early June. I think the F5 is a good little spot. Sprinkle a little bit on it. You maybe can get in and get out, and that's about it. So,
all right, perfect. Let's see here. Damn Leader Jr. I'm old, or fuck I'm old. I remember his dad got caught cheating. Hello. And then I hate that for her, not just because of time being wasted, but being on foreign land. Yes,
yep.
Of course.
Yep.
That's really wrong. So we will move on to last pitch. I basically have went over all my plays, so I'm kind of being more selective in baseball right now with how things are kind of going a little funky at times. Pirates and Reds game 2, not touching. Obviously, it's Pirates and Reds, but especially a doubleheader. No thanks. Angels and Orioles, again a pass. No real interest in that one. Yankees and Red Sox, Cole against Winkowski. I think the Yankees win this one, but the fact that they scored a whole bunch yesterday to end the game kind of makes me think this could possibly be a lower scoring game, but I don't like Garrett Cole's numbers in Boston. I think he's got like over 4 ERA in Boston. So I think the Yankees win, but I'm not comfortable betting it right now. Tigers and White Sox, Brisky against Cease. This should definitely be a White Sox slam spot. But this Tigers team has been playing sneaky good. Maybe it was just because they were facing the Guardians. Maybe not. But I'm not willing to kind of jump in front of them at this moment. Padres and Giants, another really good game with 2 good pitchers, Webb and Musgrove. I have absolutely no idea what to do in this game. I want to back Padres and Musgrove. Webb is better at home than on the road, but Musgrove's been kind of iffy lately his last 2 games. And obviously after the amazing start he had, he's not going to be able to do that every game of the season. And he has had a couple of rough 2 games. Looking at this, I wanted to take the under, but again, the odds I think were 3.5. And the way they've been pitching, both pitchers have been good, and I don't trust either team right now. They're both losing a lot. So this was a really tough game, so I ultimately had to pass. And the Blue Jays and Mariners, I actually have no opinion on the Blue Jays game. This may be one of the few times you hear me saying that all year long, but I have no opinion on the Blue Jays game. I don't know who's pitching for Toronto yet officially. It's Marco Gonzalez on the mound for the Mariners. I don't know what to make of this Blue Jays team. Did they break the funk winning that game 2-1 yesterday against Oakland? I'm not sure, and I have to see more before I can really tell. But I could see anything really happening in this game. One thing to note, there will be a lot of Blue Jays fans in Seattle. There always is. A lot of fans from Vancouver and stuff go to the Seattle game. So you will probably hear some Blue Jays cheering. But I just don't know what will happen in this game. Nick, the rest of baseball, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think the Blue Jays have given you an opportunity to have an opinion on that game because they can't make up their mind on their pitcher. I believe it's going to be Casey Lawrence, but who knows at this point. I am on the over 8.5 with Baltimore and LA. We did not touch on that, the marquee matchup of the night. I'm on the first 5 under 4 with New York and Boston. I'm also on the Yankees first 5 in full game run lines. And I also like the White Sox on the run line, as well as the White Sox minus the 1.5. And then that's all the baseball that I have for today. I kind of want to take the Giants too. I just didn't bet it.
Yeah, that game is like, I don't know.
Everybody's on the Padres today, which is scaring me off them. I would be Giants or nothing for me at that point.
They are the plus money team, so I could see that. Bryant, any thoughts on the rest of baseball?
Yeah. I'll start with my team. The Yanks, we absolutely put our foot in the Pirates' ass, which is what they should have did the night before. They didn't. Tyon scares me. I wouldn't be surprised to see him see the Yankees actually go after another starter, just in case. He's just kind of volatile right now. His first 15 starts, he looked really good. In the last couple, coming into last night, coming into his most recent against Pittsburgh, he was sitting at 30 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. So he'll be pitching on Sunday night against Pivetta, FYI. But as far as tonight, Garrett Cole gets to go to Boston. I think it's time for him to race that demon from the wild card playoffs. I think actually it's kind of important he does. As the Yankees look like they're building this lead that almost looks like it won't be broken. And he needs to get over that hiccup that he had in the wild card game. He needs to show he can pitch in Boston because that could very well be a place we'll play in October. And because of that, I think he understands the implications, and I think the Yankees understand the implications. And they've looked excellent against the AL East all year for the most part. I think they steamroll Winkowski tonight. I have the Yankees on the run line. I'm not going to advise anyone else to hop on there with me, but I do think the Yankees win. The Red Sox have been playing really well. I think they're in a much better position than they were, maybe a month and a half ago. But ultimately, I like the Yankees to win. I got it at minus 165 last night before it steamed up to minus 175 now. So I like that. What else do we have? Yes, I've got Dylan Cease on the mound for the White Sox. I want to throw out my one play for this game. I got 2 plays. I have the White Sox money line, and that's going to be mixed with the Yankees money line and the Braves money line. So I got a lot of money on the Braves to win this game tonight, as well. But my favorite play in this game is I'm looking at Dylan Cease. He's been mowing guys down. He's been in his bag lately. I have the Tigers team total for the F5 minus or not minus half, but under a half at plus 170. I'm looking for Dylan Cease to sit here and completely shut them out for 5 innings, and get us a plus 170 payout. against a team that he's pitched pretty well against in his career. I just think he's in a good spot. I think he's found a way to limit those walks that plagued him quite a bit early on in the season, and I ultimately think that he'll get it done. So that's a value play for me. Like I said, I'm not going to advocate for anyone to take that. That's a risk at plus 170. But I like it, and I'm going to go with it. It's something that I talked about previously in the show. Much rather look at some of these like clearly better pitchers than their opposition, and look at them to hold teams under 1.5 runs, or just hold them, shut them out completely. Prime example was yesterday, Burns
And Shohei.
Yeah, and Shohei. Yeah, I cashed the F5 team total, Marlins F5 team total under 1.5 runs. It cashed. Burns went completely. He shut out the Cubs completely. His team blew it, but if you taken the under a half, you would have made it was a plus 190 at the time of the game started. You single bet that. That's some good money. So just something for people to look out for as the summer goes on, and some of these lines are inflated when guys like Burns, Cole, yada 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 are playing against teams that they're clearly better than, and the pitching opposition kind of reflects that. So, but other than that, that's it for me. I have the Mariners winning tonight. I'm not really sure who's pitching for the Jays. For that matter, I just can't get behind the Jays right now with the hitting and the lack of clarity on who's pitching, and I just don't think whoever's pitching is going to replicate Kevin Gausman, or some of the other guys, Ross Stripling for that matter. So, and the Mariners just swept the Padres. They're 7-3 in the last 10 games. I just feel like you almost kind of have to, if you're looking for a play in this particular game. So that's kind of where I'm at, and those are my picks for the night. So, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the Padres Giants. I am on the Padres. I like Musgrove to get it done. Logan Webb is a good pitcher. I think the under is a good play too here. But I don't trust that. The Giants bullpen is suspect as hell. And I can't get behind it if Logan Webb gets out this game before the 6th or 7th inning. So there we go.
All right. We'll move quickly into the CFL game before we get into best bets. Me and Nick will obviously break this down. The Calgary Stampeders are headed to Edmonton. The Battle of Alberta here. Line shopping is huge in the CFL, especially when you look at the spread. You can find -3, you can find -4.5s, and you can find -5s, or +5s, +4.5s, +3. You can really find different numbers looking at the total. There's 51.5, 52, so a little bit more even there. And then obviously shop for the best line that you like. In this matchup here, I'm on the Stampeders money line. They are the second team that I have parlayed with the Dodgers in my second parlay. Calgary money line and the Dodgers money line at +111. The Stampeders are 100% the better team than Edmonton. They are kind of declining. They're not as good as they were in their heyday. They were the championship team for quite a few years in the CFL. But they are kind of slowing down, but they're still better than this Edmonton team. I'm not confident to take them -4.5, just because, again, with CFL and baseball, I am much happier to parlay money lines together. So I'd much rather take Calgary money line in case this is a close game. This could be a 2-3 point game, or Calgary could win by 10. We really don't know for sure, obviously, but I do like Calgary to win this game. Nick, what do you think here? Stampeders and Elks.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side, but I took the points in this game. I got 3.5, not expecting it to jump to 5. When you look at these two teams, the underdog is actually covered in 10 of the last 11 meetings between the Elks and the Stampeders. They're at home. The Stampeders did beat them the last time they faced, but they did not cover that 8.5 point spread. It was 30-23. I also like offense in this game. I like the way the offense is kind of changed for the Elks. It's gotten a little bit better since they put Trey Ford at quarterback. He's a nice little mobile quarterback there for So now they have a little bit of a rushing threat there on the side of Edmonton that I do like him as quarterback there. So I'm also on the over and the Edmonton team total over 24. I see this as a spot where we could see a 33-30 type of game. So I'm on the Elks plus 3.5. I'm on the Elks team total over 24, and I'm on the full game over 52.
All right. And Bryant, still no capping CFL, right?
Yeah, that's just not my cup of tea. I am going to actually tail Nick's play. I think he dropped it earlier. He was on the team total over 24, I believe. I went ahead and put that in. I have no understanding of the teams and the players there. Obviously, there are American players over there that I'm sure I know. But in terms of just the overall league, I don't know anything about it enough. But I don't really have anything else to bet tonight. It's relatively low slate for MLB, and I honestly am trying to get my brain working back into full on football mode as we inch our way closer to the season. So just trying to get back into the swing of understanding, trends and how the books are going to play football as a whole. I decided, you know what, let's get back into it, and we'll see. So I'm just going to blindly tail this Edmonton Elks team total over 24. If it hits, it hits. If not, I'm not going to be mad at anyone.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
I think we feel better.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm sprinkling like $10 on it. It's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing like consequential. That's like betting rule number one. You never bet what you can't. That you can't afford to lose.
The number one thing with CFL is you do get more points.
Yeah, which is good.
The games are higher scoring, so
yeah, and I'm cool with that. As long as that's what that means, I'm cool. So I'm gonna go with that, and that's gonna be my play. Check back in though when we get closer to CFB and the NFL. I will be gladly talking my ass off about those things. That is my favorite sport, and I make a bulk of my money between that and the MLB. So yeah,
awesome. We will be having an NFL season preview show. We won't be doing each team each day like we will be with hockey, but we will definitely have a NFL preview show probably before or around preseason. So we'll get to that. But we will do the best bet segment now, and we'll start with Dog of the Day, as we always do. For me, I have a dog today that I like and that I bet, so I'm giving it out. The Miami Marlins is my Dog of the Day. Nick is going with the Edmonton Elks in the CFL, and Tim is taking the LA Sparks in the WNBA. So we got a MLB, CFL, and WNBA dog for you. Bryant, is there any dog that you like today?
Team on my hat for the day. Like I said, this is the only dog I really liked across the slate. I would lean to the Marlins if I trusted. If they were probably playing like any other team in the NL right now, aside from the Dodgers, maybe I would probably hop on them. But the Mets are still a damn good team. And while I think Trevor Williams may not be good, there's always a possibility that they come back. Because I just don't see the Marlins having enough offense to just absolutely jump on top of them. So I'm going to stick with the Mariners here.
All right. Boo. No, I'm kidding. But boo. No, we'll go on to the over-under segment. For me, Colorado team total over 4.5. I went back and forth between the full game over, the first 5 team total over, and the full game team total over. But I'm just going to go with the full game team total over for Colorado, and just in case the bullpen, obviously the Diamondbacks bullpen, in case I need an extra run or two, they'll help me there at the end. Nick is going with Detroit, Chicago White Sox, first 5 under 4.5. Tim is taking New York Yankees and Boston over 8.5. And Jake is taking Arizona, Colorado, a full game over 9.5. Bryant, is there a total that you like today?
Yeah, my total for today is going to be the over in Baltimore and the Angels game. Chase Joseph is not good. Jordan Lyles is also not very good. But more, this is just a matter of, I think that we see Shohei and Trout going nuclear. Baltimore scores much better at home than they do on the road. I think Baltimore wins the game, but I think 8.5 with these two pitchers is a little too low for me. And I'd like this game to be somewhere like a 9-5, maybe like a 7-4 type of situation. So it'll clear it for the most part. So
All right. 4 of us on overs. Nick is on an under. Best of luck to all of us. We'll go on here to best bets, best parlay pieces. For me, Calgary Stampeders money line is my parlay piece. Nick is taking the New York Yankees money line. Tim is going with the Padres money line, and Jake is taking the Chicago White Sox money line. Bryant, what is your parlay piece?
my parlay piece is going to be the Yanks or the Red Sox team total under 2.5 for the first 5.
Boston team total first 5 under 2.5.
Yep, and that's at minus 210. I think it's good value. You get a little cushion there in case Garrett let someone run into one, which he has a penchant for doing this year. But I ultimately think this stays under 2 runs for the first 5 innings.
Perfect. And then best bets for me here. I'm doing my 2-team parlay. It's my biggest bet of the night. Edmonton, Atlanta, and the LA Dodgers both on the money line, minus 103. Nick, you were taking Edmonton Elks plus 5, minus 110. Tim is taking the San Diego Padres and the Baltimore Orioles, both on the run line, minus 1.5 for plus 615. And Jake is taking the Padres money line as his best bet. Bryant, what are you thinking here for best bet?
My best bet is going to be the Braves run line.
All right, and the current best odds for that is minus 110. Minus 110 for Atlanta, minus 1.5. And that is it. That is the show. Best luck to everybody tonight on your bets. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. We'd love to have you in the comment section. And if you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. And we'll see you again tomorrow, Friday, for our Friday show. Best of luck on your bets, and have a good one, guys.